Welcome everyone, my name is Melissa and this is a 45-minute Vinyasa flow. Think of this as an all-around well-rounded practice that you can take from your home, maybe from a hotel room if you're traveling, to give yourself a nice stretch, a little bit of flow, and some gentle movement in between all the other things you're busy doing. If you would like to use props, but you're not in a studio, I'm going to use some blocks today, but books work really well if you're at home. If you feel like using a strap at any point and you don't have one, maybe you use a bathrobe. The tie from a bathrobe works really well. And then if you want any additional support, maybe underneath your knees, you need some padding or something underneath your low back when you're in Shavasana. You can take a blanket or a towel and roll that up and use that just to give you a little bit of extra cushion. Besides that, everything I offer is an offering. Take what you need and leave what you don't. We're going to get started today in a reclined position, so in a Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. I love to use blocks underneath my knees here to give my hips a little bit of support, especially if it's the first butterfly pose of the day. And so you'll lie back on your spine, bring the bottoms of your feet together, and allow your knees to open up wide. This is where I like to place those blocks, allowing my knees to rest on the edges of these blocks. And then options for your hands, you can bring them out wide, resting on the ground beneath you. You can bring one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly here. And if you haven't already done so, I invite you to close your eyes here. And we'll begin by taking a few rounds of intentional breath together. First, inhaling through your nose. And exhaling, sighing out through your mouth. Let's do that again. Big inhale through your nose. And exhale, let it go. One more inhale, make this your deepest breath yet. Fill up. And exhale, side out. Next inhale, breathe in through your nose. Keep your lips sealed this time and breathe out through your nose. Activating our Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is often called a victorious breath. And when we breathe out through our nose, we create a slight constriction in the back of our throat, almost as if you were fogging up a mirror. And this breath builds heat throughout practice, and it is a good way to stay connected to your body here. We'll start to invite some gentle movement in our bodies, rolling out your wrists and maybe closing your knees back together. You can remove those blocks if you use them. Just bring them to the side of your mat. And then we'll heel toe those feet out the width of your mat and allow your knees to windshield wiper here, falling from side to side. You can decide how close to the ground they come. And do this 2 more times in each direction. Maybe you exaggerate the movement a little bit more. And then next time you find yourself back in center, stay there. And keep your left foot planted on the mat. Hug your right knee into your chest. So wrap those hands around the shin of that right leg and draw that right knee in and up towards your right armpit. And maybe you roll out your ankle here, moving in one direction. And then roll that ankle in the opposite direction. And then option to stay here, or option to take your right hand, grab the pinky edge side of that right foot, or maybe your shin or your ankle, and take a half happy baby. So that left foot stays planted on the mat. Your right heel is pressing up towards the ceiling. You're flexing that right foot, drawing that knee in and down towards the mat. And take one big inhale here. And one big exhale. And let go of that foot. Draw that knee in towards the midline here. And then extend your right heel up towards the ceiling. Maybe reach behind, grabbing behind that right thigh. And this time I want you to point and flex your foot. So point your toes towards the ceiling. Flex those toes back towards your face. Stretching out your shins and your calf here. And do this a few more times. And then hug that right knee back into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. And then right foot plants back on the mat. Very good. We're gonna move on to the other side. So right foot stays where it's at. Hug that left knee into your chest. Wrap both hands around that left shin. And start to hug that left knee in towards your left armpit. Just opening up that left hip flexor here. And again, maybe you roll out your ankle here if you did so on the other side, moving in one direction. And then reversing the direction of that ankle roll, nice. And then bring that knee in towards your chest and grab the outside of that left foot with your left hand and extend that heel towards the ceiling. Taking a half happy baby here if you did so on the other side. And really draw that left shin down towards your body here, pushing that heel in towards the ceiling, getting a nice stretch in your left hip. And then gently let go of that foot, hug the knee in towards the midline, and extend your left foot towards the ceiling, straightening that left leg, grabbing behind that left thigh if it's accessible. And I want you to point your toes to the ceiling here, and then flex your foot, drawing your toes back towards your face. And inhale, point your toes. Exhale, flex that foot. 2 more times. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. 1 more. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex the toes back. Hug that left knee into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. And then let that left foot plant on the mat next to the right. Arms open up to a cactus here, and I want you to roll your legs windshield wide grin 1 more time. And then next time your legs fall to the left, I want them to stay there. So just an easy supine twist here. Maybe you pick up your left ankle and place it over your right knee to encourage that right knee to come down a little closer to the mat. 1 big inhale. 1 big exhale. Remove that left ankle if it's there. Plant that left foot back down, and then just let your legs fall over to the right this time. Easy supine twist to start our class. Again, maybe you bring your right ankle on top of your left knee to encourage that downward motion. And take 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. And then unhook that right ankle. If you took it, come back to neutral. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. And then reach behind your thighs. Start to rock and roll the length of your spine. Do this 2 or 3 times until you find your way into a comfortable seat. So find that comfortable seat at the top of your mat. Maybe you cross your legs or you sit on your shins in a hero's pose. And when you arrive, take a moment here, hands on your shins. I want you to roll your shoulders up towards your ears, and then exhale, drop them back down your spine. Really nice. Inhale, shoulders roll up. Exhale, shoulders drop. And from here, inhale, arms reach up to the sky, lengthen your side body. Exhale, fingertips graze and touch the mat. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come back down. 1 more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right. So left hand outside of right knee, right hand behind your spine. On an inhale, think about growing tall through the crown of your head. And on an exhale, we twist more towards that right shoulder. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, open up to that right shoulder. Inhale, we return back to center, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, take this to the left. So right hand on the outside of that left knee, left fingertips graze the mat behind you. Again, inhales are for lengthening your spine, crown of the head draws towards the ceiling. Exhale, twist to the left. Left gaze is over that left shoulder. One more inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. And then inhale back to center. Arms reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come down. Roll over your knees and make your way to a tabletop position. So in our tabletop, we want our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips here. Toes can be tucked or untucked. On an inhale, we drop our belly, lift our heart, lift our gaze. Exhale, press into your hands, tuck your chin around your spine. Inhale, drops your belly, lifts your heart. Exhale, tuck and round. Do this 3 more times, waking up your spine here. Maybe you add a little bit of movement. You can draw circles with your hips. This is your practice here. So take what feels good and necessary in your body. Flowing breath to movement. Beautiful. And then I want you to tuck your toes here if you haven't already. And I want you to tuck as many of your toes as possible. So we want to get a nice good stretch on our toes. And then I want you to walk your hands maybe about a half handprint forward and start to sink your hips towards your heels. Stretching your feet, taking a modified version of a child's pose here with tucked toes. And then I want you to come up here, hip shift forward, take a modified version of a back bend, opening your heart and chest. Toes remain tucked, and then exhale, press your hips back, sinking into that tucked toes child pose. And inhale, you come forward, hips dip. Pull yourself through your shoulders, hug them together behind you. Exhale, hips drop back towards your heels. Do this 2 more times with me, maybe taking it at your own pace, stopping where it feels sticky or good, continuing to send your breath where you feel sensation here. 1 more full rotation here, breathing into this. And then next time you find your hips back towards your heels, stay there. Bring your left hand on top of your right. Continue to press your hips back, adding a nice side stretch on your left side body here. And then walk your hands back to center. Left hand goes out, right hand now stacks on top of left. Again, side stretching this right side body. And then walk that right hand back, come back to center here. Crawl yourself back up into that tabletop position. And then we're gonna make our way into a downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. First downward facing dog of our practice together. So maybe you bend your knees, drawing the opposite heel towards the earth, walking your dog, pedaling out your feet. Spread your fingers wide here, really pressing into the knuckle pads of each finger, especially your thumb and index finger here. And then start to walk your hands back towards your feet here. So we're meeting in a forward fold at the back of our mat. And on an inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins, gaze down, long straight spine. Your belly is engaged here. Exhale, fold forward, hands come back to the mat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Really press your shoulder blades back and together here. Exhale, fold forward. This time, inhale, bend your knees, allow your chest to rest on your thighs, and then exhale, straighten your legs back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees, sink your hips back again. And then exhale, straighten those legs. Sit bones reach up towards the ceiling. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, inhale, root to rise, stand tall. Arms reach up, extended mountain. And then exhale, hands come down to the side, mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Right hand grabs left wrist, side bend to the right here. And inhale, come back to center, reach up. Exhale, right hand grabs left wrist, side bend to the left. Inhale, return back to center. Exhale, fold forward, hands come back down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, walk forward, plank pose. So first plank pose here, we're pressing firmly into the knuckle pads of each hand. Our quads, our legs are engaged, our belly is in. And then exhale, lower your knees down to the mat, your chest down to the mat, and your chin, so your booty's in the air. And then slide forward onto your stomach. Untuck your toes, hands frame your low ribs. Press into your hands, lift your heart, lift your chest, little cobra. Hug those elbows in, squeeze your back here. And then exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, shift forward to plank pose here. Exhale, lower your knees, your chest and your chin. Slide forward. Press up into that low cobra. Engage your back and exhale. Roll over your toes and make your way to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale, right foot kicks up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot steps out of side of your right hand. We're in a low lizard here. So first lizard, I want you to shift back and forth, just stretching out that back left calf, noticing what it feels like. And then find stillness here, left hand plants, right arm reaches up to the sky, twisting lizard lunge. Inhale, right hand plants back down to the mat. Exhale, right foot steps up and back. Open your dog, three-legged dog. This time, bend your knee, open your hip up. So I want you to think about drawing your right shoulder down towards the mat while you lift that right knee up towards the ceiling. Inhale, right leg comes back to three-legged dog. We close that hip. This time, exhale, right foot steps through in between your hands. You're in a low lunge here. Inhale, plant that left hand, right arm reaches up to the sky. So now we're in a different version of that twist. And then exhale, right hand comes down to frame that foot. When you're ready, engage your core, start to rise for a high crescent lunge here. Take a moment, settle into your crescent lunge, deep bend in your right knee. Left heel is drawing towards the back of the mat. Beautiful. Inhale here. Exhale, sink into that right knee a little bit deeper. This time, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, wide arm twist, open to the right. So continue to draw that left heel back, arms open up, reaching in opposite directions, deep bend in that right knee. And then inhale, come back to center, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands frame your front foot, step your right foot back to meet your left. Exhale, lower down knees, chest and chin, make your way to that low cobra, and then press your hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll take this to the other side. So this time, inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. And then exhale, step that left foot to the outside of your left hand here. Again, find this stability in your lizard lunge by shifting back and forth, releasing the back of that right leg. And then plant your right hand, left arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, left hand plants inside of that left foot kicks up and back, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, open your hip. Left shoulder is rooting down to the earth as our left knee is rooting up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, return back to three-legged dog. Step that left foot through in between your hands. We're in a low lunge here. From our low lunge, right hand plants, left arm reaches up to the sky, gentle twist. Exhale, left hand comes down. When you're ready, engage your core, make your way to a high crescent lunge here. So first high crescent lunge, make sure your feet are on train tracks here, that you're not on a tightrope. Deep bend in that left knee, draw that right heel back to straighten that right leg even further. Belly is engaged, arms are reaching up towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, bend a little bit deeper in that left knee, very nice. This time, inhale to grow tall. Exhale, wide arm twist to the left this time. So again, reaching your arms in opposite directions, continuing to bend deeply in that front left knee. Right heel draws back. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then inhale comes back to that crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Option for knees, chest, chin, or option to take chaturanga here. So if you take chaturanga, inhale, shift forward, shoulders above wrists. Exhale, hug your elbows in, come down halfway. Roll onto the tops of your toes, straighten your arms, pull your chest through, engage your back, thighs are off the mat, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Take a moment here in your downward dog. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Do that one more time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it go. This time, inhale, come onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, gaze comes forward. Walk or take steps to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, stand tall, arms reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands together in heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. This time, exhale, hands clasp behind your back. Inhale, roll your shoulders up and back. Draw those hands down your tailbone. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Hands leave the low back. You're in a forward fold with clasped hands. And can you think about drawing those clasped hands, so rather than having them rest on your back, can you draw them away from your low back up towards the ceiling, and then maybe reaching up towards that ceiling. Pulling your shoulder blades together here, descending them down your spine. And then from here, I want you to bend your knees, chest rests on your thighs, head hangs heavy. Exhale, straighten those legs. 2 more times. Inhale, bend your knees, chest rests on thighs. And when you straighten your legs, try to keep your chest on your thighs. 1 more time. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. This time, hands come down, release them back to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, plank pose, and take either knees, chest, chin, or your version of chaturanga today. Press your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot steps through in between your hands this time, setting up for crescent lunge. So engage your belly and start to lift your core, lift your chest, arms reach up towards the ceiling. Deep bend in that front right knee. And then inhale to lengthen again. Exhale, right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward. We were here before, wide arm twist. Inhale, arms come back to center. Exhale, we twist again, right arm back, left arm forward. Option to stay here, option to bring your right hand on the back of your left thigh. Left arm reaches up and over, bending deep into that left knee. Open your heart, opening your chest. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then inhale, come back to center, arms reach up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot. Lower your back knee. Heel toe that right foot over to the right side of your mat. So we were here in this lizard before. Now we're gonna hang out for a little bit longer. So, option if you want to keep a little spice, you can tuck those back toes and lift that back knee. If you want to make this a little more restorative, drop that back knee, untuck those toes. You can hang out on your hands here. Two options for your right knee. Right knee can stay in towards your right shoulder, or you can roll onto the pinky edge side of that right foot. So the option is yours. Maybe you play around, rolling on the outside of that foot and then bringing that knee back into your shoulder. Maybe you use your blocks here. You can come down onto your forearms if that's comfortable. The choice is yours. But I invite you to send your breath here into your right hip, maybe into your left hip flexor if you're feeling a lot of sensation there. 2 more rounds of breath. And then if you've come down onto your forearms, start to walk yourself out of that by coming back onto your palms. Tuck those back toes, lift your back knee if you haven't already, and then step your left foot forward. We're meeting in a Malasana squat here. So Malasana squat, we have a wide-legged stance, our toes are pointed out, our heels are in. Bring your elbows to the insides of your thighs here. Maybe bring your hands to heart center to pull your chest through your body, creating a long, straight spine. If you have trouble getting your heels to the mat, just simply back out of this pose a little bit. 2 more rounds of breath here. You can always sit on a block or a pillow if you want a more restorative version of this pose. And then hands plant on the mat. Start to straighten your legs. Heel toe your feet into about hips width distance here. And then 2 options. One option is to take your index finger and your thumb and reach them around your big toe, or you take Padahastasana, which is where you step onto your palm. So you take your peace fingers around your big toe, that's one option, or you place the palm of your hands facing up towards your face, fingers back, you step onto the tops of your hands to where your toes come into the creases of your wrists. And then I want everyone to take a big inhale here, lengthening your spine, drawing your tailbone, lengthening your leg, drawing your tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, use your arms to pull yourself down over your thighs. So make this an active forward fold here. So using your hands to bring your chest a little bit closer to your thighs here. Allow your head to hang heavy. Maybe nod your head yes and shake your head no to release any tension. 1 more inhale here. 1 more exhale. And then walk your hands out of your feet if you haven't already. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, plank pose and make your way back to downward facing dog, taking knees, chest, chin, or your chaturanga. From downward facing dog, inhale, left leg comes to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step that left foot in between your hands. We're setting up for a high crescent lunge here. So, excuse me, when you're ready, inhale, rise to crescent lunge, deep into that left knee, right heel is drawing back to the back of the mat this time. And you know where we're going. So on an inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, wide arm twist to the left. Deep into that left knee, right heel draws back, straighten that right leg. Inhale, return back to center. Both arms reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale one more time, wide arm twist to the left. Now the option is yours here. Stay here in this upright twist, or bring your left hand to the back of your right thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. Keep bending into that left knee, drawing that right heel back, straightening that right leg, keeping your body engaged here. One more big inhale. One more exhale. And then hands come back to center, high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down, frame that left foot. Drop your right knee to the mat. Heel toe that left foot to the outside edge of the mat here. So both hands are inside of that left leg. And we're setting up for that lizard lunge. So if you kept your legs straight on the last version, you can do that here. If you want to drop your right knee to play around with what this feels like, option to do that as well. So you can either keep that left knee hugged into your left shoulder, maybe you come down onto your forearms here, if that's accessible, or a block or a pillow. Or you can see what it feels like to roll onto the outside edge of that left foot, the pinky side edge, and then maybe draw that left knee back in. Again, every body is different, so just notice what this feels like in your body. And we'll be here for about 2 more rounds of breath. And if you've come down onto your forearms, walk yourself up here, back onto your palms. Tuck your right toes, lift that right knee. And then one more time, we step that right foot into our Malasana squat. Sink your hips low. Hands come together at heart center. Use those elbows to open up your knees wider. Long, straight spine here. Maybe you close your eyes here. Take a moment to recenter, to reconnect with your breath. Tailbone descends down as your chest opens up. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then plant those hands onto the mat, straighten your legs, heel toe your feet back together, hips width distance. On an inhale, we lift halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, fold forward. This time, inhale, root to rise, stand tall, arms reach up. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Okay, so we're going to take, sorry you can't see me, we're going to take a tree pose here to finish off a little bit of balancing. So I want you to walk towards the back of your mat or anywhere that's comfortable. And we're gonna start by balancing on our left leg. So when you're ready, begin to lift your right knee to about hip height. So we're in a one-legged Tadasana, one-legged mountain here. Just notice what it feels like to balance on one leg. Maybe add a soft bend to your left knee. And then when you're ready, right knee opens up to the right. Plant the sole of that right foot either as a kickstand on the floor against your bottom of your right leg, or you can pick that foot up, walk it into the top of your right thigh. I'd only advise you to not put it on your right knee. You don't want to injure your knee here. Hands can be at heart center here, or maybe you bring your palms up to the ceiling, growing your tree. And I want you to engage your glutes here, make these active, strong legs, and press your right foot into your left thighs as much as you're pressing your left thigh back into your right foot. Belly is engaged, core is strong, crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling. And then find a point of drishti, something that's not moving, and allow that to be the point that you focus your attention on. One more inhale here. One more exhale. And then hands come back to heart center. Bring that right leg down to the mat. Shake it off, and then we'll get ready to do that tree pose on the other side. So, you know where we're going. Start by shifting your weight to your right foot this time. Pick up your left knee so that it's at hip height. You're in a one-legged mountain pose. And then start to open that left leg to the left, opening that hip. Plant the sole of that left foot anywhere on your left leg that feels comfortable. Think about keeping your hips as neutral as possible here, engaging your glutes, pressing your left foot into your right leg as much as your right leg pushes back strongly into that left foot. And then arms can be in any position that's comfortable. You can grow your tree, you can bring them together at heart center. And then when you're ready, find a point of drishti in the room and allow yourself to breathe into this tree pose here. Two more rounds of breath. If you fall out of it, that's okay. Pick yourself back up and come back in. And then when you're ready, hands come back to heart center. Unwind from that tree. Shake it out if you want to. And then we'll take one more flow here before we make our way down onto the mat to stretch and take our shavasana. So make your way back to downward facing dog. When you're ready, shift forward into that plank pose and then knees upward down. Take your version of chaturanga. And exhale back to downward facing dog. From here, lower down onto your knees. Sink your hips back. Make your way to a hero's pose. We'll just find a moment here to rest in this position, sitting back on our heels. And then from here, we're gonna make our way onto our back for the rest of class. So find your way into a reclined position, just like where we started at the top of class. I'm gonna offer one back bend here. We're gonna do a bridge pose. If you're not taking bridge and you don't have a block, you can just simply lay on your back with your knees bent and your feet planted on the mat. If you have a block, you can always bring that block underneath your sacrum like this for a low supported bridge. And if you'd like to take an active bridge with me, bend your knees, plant the soles of your feet on the earth, bring your hands next to your side body. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, press into your feet, lift your hips off the mat. Maybe you crawl your arms underneath your body, clasp your hands, use that grip, drawing your shoulder blades together to press into your heels and lift your hips a little bit higher. Take a few more rounds of breath here in your bridge, lifting your hips, keep your head neutral here. One more round of breath. And then exhale, slowly allow yourself to melt to the earth. Walk your feet a little bit wider and then allow your knees to windshield wiper just like we did at the top of class. And then bring your hands to a cactus or a T, and the next time your legs fall to the left, to let them stay there. Simple recline twist. Maybe your gaze comes to the right here. And the knees come back to center and allow them just to fall over to the right side this time. Gaze can stay up towards the ceiling or maybe go towards the left shoulder. And don't worry if both knees don't reach the mat. Just think about keeping both shoulder blades rooted firmly into the earth beneath you. And then come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest this time. An option for one final happy baby. So we did half happy baby at the top of class. This time, option to reach in between both legs, grab for the outsides of their feet or your shins or ankles. Draw those legs down towards your body, flex your feet, heels press up towards the ceiling. And you can rock back and forth here in your happy baby or find stillness, whatever your body's calling for. And then when you're ready, we'll make our way to our final resting position. So I know it can be a challenge to rest, especially when you're not in a studio, but I invite you here to take this Shavasana just as seriously as you would if you were in a studio. And from here, you can simply lie on your back, legs extend out long, arms extend out wide. If you have props at home or wherever you're at and you want to use them, you're more than welcome to do so. If you haven't already closed your eyes, I invite you to do so now. And can you soften the space between your eyebrows? Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your jaw. Shavasana. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, maybe nodding your head from side to side, finding gentle movements in your body. Maybe you take a long stretch, reaching your arms out above your head and your legs out long in front of you, giving yourself a long good morning stretch. And then when you're ready, roll onto your right side, meeting briefly in the fetal position, using your bottom arm as a pillow. And then press into that top hand and make your way to a comfortable seat. Take a moment here. Hands can come to heart center. And we'll end our practice with one final cleansing breath. And take one big breath in through your nose. And exhale, sigh it out. And thank you so much for joining me wherever you are. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.